All right, so it's crunch time. The heat is on, pressure is mounting, and soon you're going to be sitting in that exam seat wondering, am I going to pull this off? Well, totally good news is that you can pull it off. You are going to pull it off, because if you get yourself into the habit of doing things just how they're meant to be done over the next few days, when you get into the exam seat, you can chill, relax, because you've got it. You know what you're doing. So key is, in your final preparations, get comfortable with good habits. Get comfortable with doing a paper just like it's meant to be done. So here's a few quick hints and tips just to keep you on the right track. They're pretty obvious. A lot of the stuff you'll know already. First one, read that question carefully. Get your eyes on it. Read it twice, read it 3 times. Make sure that you understand what the question is actually asking you to do. Okay? Don't get running off down rabbit trails that aren't what they're asking you. Something to help you with that is to engage with the paper. Okay? Physically engage with it. Underline stuff. You might want to highlight things. So important pieces of information you can highlight. You can draw little diagrams on your script as you're trying to think things through. Okay, the dude throws a ball up and then it comes down. Just get busy on the paper, engage with it, make eye contact, have a conversation with your paper. Make sure that you have really connected. If there's important stuff that you're writing that does need to be part of your answer, make sure that it appears on your script. But all in all, really get to grips with what the paper is saying. So that's an important little skill to develop as you go. When it comes to doing working, make sure that your answers are clear. So there's a nice, neat, logical flow of thought that your examiner is not going to be confused, wondering where did they go from here? How does this fit with that? Just keep it nice and simple. When it comes to explanations, strongly recommend using bullet points, using point form. You don't have to write long paragraphs, and please, no essays. Just keep it short and concise. The examiner is going to get lost in a block of text. Rather keep it simple in bullet points. And remember that your substitution line, when it comes to equations and calculations, is probably the most generously marked line of working in your whole paper. So depending on the length of the equation that you're substituting values in, it can be 1 or 2 or sometimes even 3 marks of value just by putting the right things in the right places. So it's about 20% of your marks in the paper is given to correct substitutions, knowing your values and putting them in the right places. So be careful with that one. Make sure that that is clear. Couple more. So when it comes to your timing, make sure that you've got an eye on how much this question is worth. 1 mark per minute is a fantastic guideline. So roughly 60 seconds for every mark. Don't get stuck on it. Obviously, you don't want to be meticulously just timing yourself, but be careful that as you're going through a paper, you don't allow yourself to get stuck on a small mark question and putting a lot of time into it. So if you do find that you're getting stuck on something, then rather just keep it to the side and then move on and make sure that you're getting all the other marks that you can get, which leads me to the whole concept of lowest hanging fruit. Make sure that you're getting the lowest hanging fruit. What do I mean by that? Well, imagine an apple tree, like this little one here. It can be a bunch of apples all over the tree. Some of the questions in the paper are designed to be easy for all of us. Okay, so about 30% of the paper should be accessible to anyone who's done a little bit of work. And then there's going to be the high hanging fruit right at the top of the tree, which is going to be for the top pupils. So don't let yourself get stuck trying to grapple for one of the top ones when there's plenty of low hanging fruit to get. Okay. One of those things is your definitions. 10% of your marks is terms and definitions. So just learn them. Make sure that you get them into your head. Write them out on a piece of paper. Put them above your desk. Put them by your bed. Put them in the loo. Doesn't matter where. Just get your eyes on them as often as you can and learn them so that you've got that 10% under wraps. Units. Don't throw away marks by forgetting your units. When you write an answer, I often recommend that you just underline your final answer. It's a nice little reminder to say, have I got everything here, especially your units. And the last thing to say is communicate clearly. What you write on the script is what you're communicating to the examiner. They can't read your thoughts. You aren't going to have the privilege of standing behind them and saying, oh, what I meant to say was that. You've got to put everything that is in your thinking onto that script. So otherwise, those are some habits to get into. All the very best. I wish you good luck and practice, practice, practice. Ciao.